Are you a Good Omens fan and haven't watched Staged? If so, turn off this video right now and go watch it. I honestly think Staged should be required watching if you love Good Omens. This video contains serious spoilers for Staged Season 3. I really don't want to be the person that ruins that for anyone. The question today is the ending of Staged Season 3 related to the finale of Good Omens Season 2. When I first watched Good Omens, I'd never even heard of Staged. I was telling a friend about my new passion, and she told me about this show with David Tennant and Michael Sheen that they started filming during the pandemic. I got a subscription to BritBox just to watch it. I don't typically binge shows, but I binged this one. Both funny and touching, Staged is a very unique piece of media. It's got some serious bits, but it's mostly a comedy about two close friends, David Tennant and Michael Sheen, trying to work together over Zoom in the middle of the pandemic, with a fun ensemble cast and a lot of really big-name guest stars. They fight, they storm off, they make up, and then they go right back to the humor. So when the final few minutes of the finale took a very serious turn, I was somehow surprised. Upon reflection, I should have seen it coming. I mean, it's got a lot in common with Good Omens, aside from the two lead actors, and it's why I started watching it in the first place. But was that commonality intentional? I think so, at least in the finale. Filming for Good Omens Season 2 wrapped on March 1st, 2022. Staged Season 3 was released in November of 2022, though I can't find a wrap date. The release was about 7 months before the release of Good Omens. So with that in mind, let's do a super quick overview of the final episode of Staged. David and Michael have decided to do a live version of A Christmas Carol. They've really pissed off their writer and producer Simon, so instead of a script, he leaves them pages that just say, improvise your way out of this. With help from their wives and a few other friends who are barely even phoning it in, they try to fumble their way through the live stream, but it's a complete disaster. They start writing notes to each other that they hold up for the other to see to help give some cues without alerting the audience. They don't realize the cameras are still on and the audience can see every message. The first message Michael writes says, "We'll be okay," assuring David that they can handle this crazy situation. But nothing goes right, and after some total chaos, Michael suddenly announces that he doesn't want to do this anymore.
Listen, I think we should take a break.
David is confused. He thinks Michael means the show, or maybe the online work they've been failing at in general. But Michael clarifies.
I mean, from each other.
David is immediately upset and won't continue the live stream. He just sits back looking sad. After a hilarious exchange concerning knocking on doors and time travel,
Understand the rules of time and space.
Oh, I understand the rules of time and space.
that results in a paradox where opening the door means the show will end, a metaphor they both immediately realize also applies to the relationship, there's a bit of a kerfuffle about opening the door or not. They do eventually open the door, and the live stream ends.
Knock.
Come in.
Everyone else leaves to start celebrating, but Michael and David just sit there. Now, I want to show you a side-by-side comparison of the last minute and 40 seconds of both shows, but I can't do that in this video. If you would like to watch the full comparison, please check the link in the description. I've made a separate video just for that. I haven't made it public because I don't want to accidentally spoil anyone, so you can only find it using that link. How I decided to match up the finales were by starting at the end and working backwards. So I've lined up when Staged cuts out to when Good Omens blurs out. And guess what? The finale music is almost the exact same length. And the amount of time Crowley and Aziraphale are in the respective car and elevator match as well. David has plants behind him. There's a Christmas tree and some fern wall art in Staged. And Michael has a fake fireplace that, once removed, is just a blank white wall. So the sets seem pretty close too. Or is that just me? Michael holds up that first sign again, saying, "We'll be okay." Then the images move side by side in both Good Omens and Staged. Michael on the right, David on the left, both silent. David looks depressed, and Michael's going through some strange micro-expressions, just like in the lift. This last bit mirrors so closely the final credits of Good Omens, I don't think it can be a coincidence. The sign Michael holds up at the end seems to be not only a message to David on the show, but a message to us, the viewers. And not only viewers of Staged, but of Good Omens. Aziraphale and Crowley, Michael and David, they'll be okay. I know I'm far from the first person to notice this. Did you know this already? Was this a message for us? These two guys, we all love them so much. We just want them to be okay.